All right, guys, we are here with Leah McSweeney from Real Housewives of New York City. What's up, Leah?
Hi. How
How
are
are
you?
you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay,
Happy to be
well,
chatting with you.
yeah, me too. I mean, I feel like there are some congrats in order, right? So, congrats on surviving your first season of RHONY. Congrats on signing with WME. Congrats on your rhinoplasty. I mean, there's just so much
Yeah,
going on.
it is. There's a lot going
Now, is
on.
there anything else I should congratulate you for, like perhaps a new man in your life?
I wish I could have you congratulating me for that. But no, not yet. There is not. And, I'm actually at the point where I'm kind of feeling like I'm ready for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you know any hot, because now I don't want to date ugly guys anymore. I only want hot guys.
I mean, I think that's fair.
That's so fucking fair.
And also, like, I mean, we're in New York City, right? Like, there's got to be some options for you out there. Like, where do you go to find dudes? Like, do you have like a routine of like what you do? I mean, I guess it's really hard right now because of, the pandemic, but things are opening up here in New York. We've got indoor dining coming.
Yeah, we have indoor dining coming. We have outdoor dining. I mean, I think I just have to put in a little more effort. Like, I don't know. I just keep, I do trust that the universe will send him my way when the time is right. So until then, I just like, need to find like a friends with benefits situation.
Right. Because that, I mean, that doesn't always end well, but at least it would be something to pass the time for now.
Some- Something. But anyway,
Do,
yeah. So I don't know if there's any more congratulations in order. I think that was plenty. So thank you.
You're very welcome. I want to talk about your reunion look because I feel like it was so striking. It was so unique. Where did you get the inspiration for that look?
So actually, this amazing Brooklyn-based designer who does all sustainable stuff, Sandra from Asaga NYC, she designed it for me.
It was so cool. Did you actually think that maybe, because parts of it were revealing, like, was there a part of you that was like, I can't wait till Ramona sees this?
Everyone thinks that I'm dressing scantily to get a rise out of Ramona. I've always worn tight see-through things, so that's just what I like to wear.
Right. That's just like part of who you are, right?
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, she did mention my vagina again a couple times on the reunion, but or maybe that was last week. I can't even keep track who's counting at this point. But I don't know if she got a rise out of it or not, or if it secretly made her. I mean, she looked great at the reunion anyway. She looked amazing. So
I really loved all of the memes that came out of it too that were like Mortal Kombat, like it
oh,
looked like between you and Sonia and like all of the looks combined with the masks. I was like, yeah, this is definitely giving me some like 90s Mortal Kombat vibes.
the Mortal Kombat vibe, like all those memes were so funny. They were so good.
One thing that came up in part one of the reunion that I thought was interesting is you talked about the response from fans and how happy you were that it was positive. So looking back, what was it like watching yourself on the show while in quarantine? Because I feel like that's such a unique housewife experience to like see yourself first time on the show through something like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have nothing to compare it to because that's just my experience like with the show is during COVID.
Right.
So, I mean, I would imagine obviously it would have been so different not doing it. I'm sure there was some pros and cons. Obviously, I still would rather not be dealing with the pandemic, but I'm sure there was some kind of silver lining of having the show air during it. Yeah, it was kind of like a surreal thing. It was weird because it's like, yeah, I was watching it like from home. The first 5 weeks I was like in Long Island. So I was with my sister and Rob and Kiki and my sister's fiance. And, we'd watch it on Thursdays, obviously. And I felt very sheltered and protected. Like, yeah, I'm on TV and like I'm being, my whole life is out there now. But I also felt this like kind of wall because we were isolated.
Right.
It's just recently that like I go out and people recognize me and stuff because now people are out and I'm out and things like that. So it was definitely very unique and interesting.
Have you had a lot of people reach out on social media being like, I can finally relate to someone on the show? Because I feel like you brought in like a younger, fresher, such a different perspective than perhaps we've seen on RHONY in a while. So what was that like, the fans reaching out about being like, oh my God, I finally can relate to someone and I relate to you?
Yeah, I get a lot of messages like that. They're really great. It's really great to see them and it's great to get those messages, especially when people are like reaching out about like some more serious things like mental health stuff, or like, motherhood, or just, whatever, going against the grain in general, or like whatever. So it's nice. It's really nice to get those messages.
I want to talk about Tinsley and the stuff that came up at the reunion with John and Scott. So did Tinsley tell you about that exchange between John and Scott when you two became close?
Yeah.
So you knew that going into the reunion. Did you expect it to come up in the way that it did?
No, I didn't think she was going to bring it up, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, because I feel like that was something that maybe Dorinda didn't expect either. And now that that was out in the public, do you feel like the viewers now have a better idea of what the real tension was between Tinsley and Dorinda?
I think that I know I did. Like,
Yeah.
it made sense. I know Dorinda says it has nothing to do with that, but I think it does, And I think that would make sense. Like, it would be a little bit more, at least somewhat logical, because otherwise it's like, what's going on here,
Yeah. Right. Because nobody could really put their finger on it before, right? Everyone was like, what is the big deal? And then that revelation kind of made things make sense a little bit more.
Completely.
You recently spent some time with Tinsley to celebrate your birthday. I'm curious to know how you've seen her change since she left the show.
She's just, I know she misses the show. I know she liked doing the show, but obviously, her priority is her life, and live like her goal of being with Scott, and obviously relationships are everything. Love is everything, So it makes complete sense that she left, and it was important for her to show Scott that he was the priority. I mean, because obviously the show, there was some, static, I guess, between them over the show. And obviously it's very hard to be on the show and have a relationship, I think, at the end of the day. I think that she seems a lot more carefree. She's really happy. I mean, it was really great spending time with her and him. And he's a great guy. And I have to say, and I had never met him before. Him and Tinsley were both so concerned about if Kiki was having fun or not. And he was really engaging. He was engaging with my daughter. He was finding things to relate to her about and having conversations. And, that meant a lot to me. That means everything to me, is how you treat my kid. And they just treated her with such respect and were so interested in getting to know her that I was just, it really just warmed my heart. And me and Kier we had such a good time with them.
That's so cute. I do feel like as an adult, you want teenagers to like you. You want to be cool to the teenagers, so there's kind of that pressure of oh, we want to make sure they're having a good time.
Yeah, exactly. It was really nice.
You mentioned Tinsley being a little bit more carefree. How did you ever convince her to recreate the WAP choreography with you?
Oh, I mean, she knew it. She knew about the dance and everything. And I told her, Tinsley, I'm trying to do this TikTok. Let's do it together. And I told her, Tinsley, you better practice a little, because I practiced last night and we need to do this TikTok before I leave. She's like, okay, let me just, but she didn't even practice that much and she was great at it.
Now from the top, make it drop, that's some wet, Now get a bucket and a mop, that's some wet, I'm talking wop, that's some wet, Macaroni in a pot, that's some wet, huh?
Oh my God. I mean, I had to watch it a few times to be like, is that really Tinsley? I was like, okay, Leah, I totally get it. This would be something that Leah would do. But I was like, there's no way that's Tinsley Mortimer. And then I was just like, oh my God.
She was amped. She was all about it. She was all about it. She wanted to do it. And Kiki filmed us. Kiki's a great director. And, it was just it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I definitely it was hard to walk for the next 2 days afterwards. I'm not going to lie. That is a very challenging dance. It really takes a lot of physical, coordination and a lot of strength to do it. It looks easy, but it's not. It's painful.
Right. It's a lot of up and down. It's a lot of pulling yourself all the way up and then getting back down low again.
Also, just that kick in the air, the initial kick in the air, and then dropping down, and spreading your fucking thighs open. You're if you don't stretch beforehand, you're gonna have a hard time for the next few days, like me.
Right. That is the key to TikTok dances, right? You got to stretch beforehand.
That is completely it. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, you are very close with Tinsley, but I know that you're also close with Dorinda. Do you often feel or did you feel at least through this season, that you were a little bit stuck in the middle of their tension?
I still feel that way.
Yeah.
Because I do really like both of them, but then I'm also conflicted. But at the same time, I do see where I was kind of when after Tinsley left the reunion, and it was just I felt like it was like Luann and like kind of Ramona, you know, telling Dorinda like how they were like mad at her or whatever. And I was being like blindly loyal to her, you know, and I wasn't like, when I said she doesn't hit below the belt, obviously she does. And like, I don't know, I felt like Dorinda had my back so much throughout so many times off camera and on camera. Off camera, you don't understand, after fucking Rhode Island, like I was gutted, you know, that was a very difficult trip for me. And like Dorinda was the one that I was crying on the phone to, and she was there for me. So it's very hard for me to like, even, this is the thing, it's like with my sister, even when she's wrong, I'm still gonna have her fucking back.
Yeah.
You know, like, because that's my sister. And I felt this like sisterly thing with Dorinda because of like how much she helped me through this experience that was completely new to me, completely terrifying in a lot of ways. Like she would be on the phone with me off camera, you know? So if it looks like I'm fucking kissing her ass or whatever, that's not me kissing her ass. That's me just like being fucking loyal.
It's having her back in some ways. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you mentioned that she was there for you after the trip to Rhode Island. What advice did you give Dorinda throughout the season? Because she mentions that she talked to you a lot about what, you know, she was going through, and she leaned on you. So what did you say to Dorinda throughout the season in terms of, you know, everything that she was going through?
You know, I feel like I just listened to her a lot. You know, I feel like I listened and I tried to be there for her. Like, I'm not like the biggest like advice giver, because sometimes I like just when I call up a friend and I'm upset, I don't want their advice. I want them to just listen to me, you know,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
so, but we did talk a lot, you know, throughout the season, and still do. So it feels, you know, kind of stuck in between like her and Tinsley. Like sometimes like, I'm like, yeah, like it makes me crazy. Like Dorinda, like, why can't you just let things go with Tinsley, you know?
Right. What went through your mind when you found out that she was leaving the show?
Oh my God.
Right. I mean, first Tinsley, then Dorinda, you know?
Exactly. Who knows like what will happen? I mean, anything can happen, literally. That's the one thing I learned, is that anything can happen.
Right. Expect the unexpected, right?
Exactly.
Well, in part 2 of the reunion, you and Ramona seem to work out the issues from her birthday party. I'm very curious to hear more about the kind of mother-daughter dynamic between the two of you.
I think because in the beginning, like I was dealing with my own issues with my mom, you know, and of the season, I was throughout the whole season I was dealing with it, but especially in the beginning because she didn't want to talk to me because of the drinking, and I was very upset. And then Ramona was kind of like, you need to call her, you can't be texting her. So Ramona kind of took on this like maternal thing with me. So then I think because she took on that maternal role, when she was like, oh, you know, angry at me, or was like kind of acting like I was being bad or whatever, it was extra offensive to me, or like hurt more than it would have if it was like one of the other women, because she decided to take the maternal role on with me, you know?
I see, yeah.
So it made it like extra painful, and it made me extra upset.
Right. No, that makes sense. I mean, I could totally see that, how it might impact you more than it would coming from one of the other women.
Exactly.
How are things with you and your mom today?
Yeah, I mean, well, we just had like a huge argument today, but you know, I mean, it's a challenging relationship. It just is. I wish it wasn't. I wish things were just peaceful and amazing with her, but it's just a challenging relationship. I obviously have not learned how to deal with her. I know, I mean, my you know, Rob is always saying, oh, she's your mom. She's just going to be like this. It's the way it is. Just say yes. Just do this. And for some reason, it just gets me crazy. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
You can't quite put your finger on it.
Just can't, but that's the way it is.
Do you think that your approach to parenting has changed with everything you've been through with your mom?
I definitely am a different parent than her, but I'm not going to say I'm like a better parent at all. You know, like
right.
God knows what my daughter will be saying about me to me when she's 20 years old, 30 years old. But I think that the thing is, like, I'm so scared of screwing my kid up, and I'm so like, oh my God, how am I fucking her up? What am I doing? Like, that if she was like, Mom, like you did XYZ and it like really messed with me, and I would just be so terrified to upset her.